Welcome to the Charity Commission for Northern Ireland's online registration workshop. My name is Connell and I am the Policy and Research Officer at the Commission. The aim of the workshop is to help charity trustees to submit a complete application for charity registration when your organisation is called forward by the Commission to do so. If an application is not complete, we may have to contact you for further information, and this can delay the assessment of your registration application. The online workshop has been recorded in 4 parts. Each part of the online workshop is important, and we would urge you to watch each part. The aim of the workshop is to give you a clear understanding of the legal requirement for charities to register with the Commission, guidance on how to answer key elements of your charity registration application, including looking at exclusively charitable purposes, and information on the public benefit requirement, how to navigate the online application process, what happens after a charity is added to the register of charities. On your screen, you will see 3 key terms which are used by the Commission in its guidance and in the application process. Charity trustee, the people who are legally responsible for the control and management of the administration of the charity. They may be called trustees, governors, directors, committee members, or some other title. Governing document. This is any document that sets out the charity's purposes and how it is to be administered. It may be a trust deed, constitution, memorandum and articles of association, a royal charter, or some other formal document. Control and direction. By having control and direction over its governance and resources, we are referring to an organisation that is separately constituted, controls how money is raised and spent, and directs how resources are used. Charity registration was introduced through the Charities Act 2008. This Act also established the Commission as the independent regulator of charities in Northern Ireland. All organisations that are or could be charitable must apply to register with the Commission when called forward. There are no exceptions or exemptions. Charity registration differs from registration with HMRC for charitable tax status. This is a common misunderstanding. Charity trustees are responsible for ensuring organisation registers and adheres to charity law. Organisations will be called forward in a managed process. The combined list contains details of organisation the Commission is aware of for registration. This overview of the registration process is available in the Registering Your Charity in Northern Ireland guidance, which is available on the registration support page of the Commission's website. You can access the guidance by clicking on the green button on the homepage of the website. Some of the guidance you will find there includes document and information checklists, trustee declaration, main contact details form. These will help you gather the information you need for the application. You will also find the public benefit statutory guidance. More on that in part 2 of the workshop. Purposes and public benefit toolkit. Screenshots of the online application, which you can use to see most of the questions you will be asked on the application. There is also a link to a video of the online system, and it is useful to watch this with the screenshots. So, what is a charity? The Charities Act defines a charity as an institution, an organisation that is established for exclusively charitable purposes, is for the public benefit, and is governed by the law in Northern Ireland. Being established for exclusively charitable purposes means that each of the organisation's purposes or objects must fit within one or more of 12 descriptions of purposes set out in the Charities Act. Let's have a look at the 12 descriptions of purpose set out in the legislation. The Commission has produced supporting guidance for each of the 12 charitable purposes. This guidance outlines what the purpose means and applies the principle of public benefit to this purpose. You will find those on the registration support page of the website too. These descriptions of purposes range from older purposes such as the advancing education or religion to newer purposes including advancing human rights and conflict resolution. Be aware that any other charitable purpose is not a catch-all description or meant to cover general charitable purposes. This description has a specific meaning. It allows for any purposes that are not described in the Charities Act, but are similar in nature or purpose to ones which have been recognised by the courts as charitable. You must not use this description for any purpose that would fit within one of the other descriptions of purpose. The Purposes and Public Benefit Toolkit that is available on the registration support page can help charity trustees review their purposes. However, once you have been called forward and are preparing your registration application, you must copy your purposes just as they are in your governing document into the application. If you think they need to be amended, you will be able to put a note on your application to draw this to the Commission's attention. Purposes are important because they are used by the Commission to decide if your organisation is a charity. Used by HMRC to decide if your organisation qualifies for tax relief. They guide trustees to understand the limit of what the charity can do and assess whether how they are running the charity is consistent with its purposes. And they are used by the public, beneficiaries, supporters and funders to understand what your charity does, who it helps, and where and how it works. Remember, a purpose is what you are trying to achieve. A power is how you're going to try to achieve it. A purpose cannot be illegal and a charity cannot be established for a political purpose. This does not mean that charities cannot lobby politicians for changes. There is a checklist in the Purposes and Public Benefit Toolkit which will help you assess whether your charity's purposes adequately express what your organisation was set up to achieve and whether this is clear to stakeholders. If you cannot answer yes to these questions, the purposes may need revised. But if you have been called forward and are preparing your registration application, copy the purposes as they appear in your governing document into the application form. Make a note in the special circumstances box if you think a change may be required and indicate what that change might be. You may want to use the checklist to assess the purposes on the screen and check if your assessment is similar to that which the Commission would make of these purposes. You can read the Commission's view of these purposes on this slide and the next one. End of part 1.